Hey everybody, welcome to this BSE 508 little quick module introduction where I'm going to talk a little bit about why we're looking at things like patents and other forms of intellectual property. Now, normally when I teach this, I have done my own 50 or 60-minute presentation with my own PowerPoint and my own lecture, but I decided this year, rather than reinvent the wheel, we've got some really awesome material here that is going to be linked in the Canvas module from our Steenbach library, and specifically a person who you've met in the not too distant past, Dave Bloom. And Dave is one of our regional experts here in terms of patents from a library perspective, being able to locate patents. Dave also has a really good understanding of the process of developing a patent and knows how to connect you to different resources. And that's a big part of this class, is knowing the experts and knowing the people who are the most knowledgeable about particular subject matter. I did want to just spend a few minutes though, before I send you off to look at those materials that I have linked in the module. I wanted to just spend a couple minutes, like why? The question is why? Why are we spending like almost 2 hours going into this really in-depth dive with patents? I've got a couple reasons. Number one is that many of you are going to go to work for a company where you're going to be designing products and you're going to be patenting them, or you're going to be working with patent attorneys and other experts that deal with intellectual property. Depending on the size of the company, there may be a whole staff of people who deal with only intellectual property, and knowing how to interface with them as an engineer is really critical. One of the things that they're going to look for, whether they're an attorney or they have other expertise in patent law, is documentation. And that includes all of that material that's in your design notebook. So knowing the process, knowing the things that go into a patent are really, really critical. And that, again, from the standpoint of a lot of companies, that's where the real value comes in, through patentable products and patentable components that you may in fact be designing. Some of you may go to work for a service company like I did out of graduate school. And in that case, you may or may not be patenting products. For example, if you work for a state or federal agency, again, you may or may not be patenting things, but there's actually a decent chance as a service company that you'll be developing things that may be copyrighted. Or if you're working for a business that has a brand and a logo, you may be looking at trademarks. So having that basic understanding of intellectual property is really crucial. The second thing, and it is equally important, I don't want to say more important, but it is at least equally important, is the ability to learn from the past inventions and the past innovations of other people by studying their patents, by learning about them, by searching for them. And then especially not just searching them and finding them and printing them or saving them on your hard drive or saving them in your design notebook, but actually doing a deep dive. When a person has a patent, you learn about the approach that they took. You learn about all of the prior designs and all of what they call the prior art that they had to document carefully to develop their patent application and before that patent was actually approved. You may learn about unique solutions. You may learn about products or components or parts that you never knew existed. And the question is, if somebody else has developed something in the past that you can take advantage of, that you can use in your product, in some cases that may involve the requirements for having a licensing agreement. But the bottom line is, if you can save yourself those hundreds or thousands of hours of time in developing a new system or component, there's great value in being able to do that. You may remember when I talked about talking with your market, talking with your customers, I talked about the cap that is on top of a Heinz ketchup bottle. It's a cap that has a little silicon valve. That little silicon valve is optimized in terms of its diameter so that children can draw with their ketchup onto their cheeseburger or onto their plate. That was based on a patented product that was developed for the shampoo industry. And Heinz Ketchup worked with that particular company that was the assignee or the owner of the patent, and was able to then apply that ketchup cap or that shampoo cap to their unique ketchup bottle that is used to hold Heinz Ketchup. So there are lots of different reasons. Again, the big one is to save you the time to be able to stand on the shoulders of others, to not have to reinvent those thousands and thousands of hours that other people have probably invested. Patents are rich, patents are full of information. You'll find this in the homework that you do. I look forward to seeing that homework here in the near future. And I know I'm pretty confident you'll learn some cool things about patents that are related to your design and related to your project. Talk to you soon.